Alright, so this is a really early proof of concept. There was a request on TRA for playing multiple tracks on a preset, and I actually had an idea because I'm working on the edit menu with all the new features of how we could actually accomplish that. So this is kind of like a demo of the potential and a proof of concept. It works, but it needs a lot more testing, obviously, if it was going to be implemented. But the concept is to actually allow you access to all tracks on your SD card. You're still going to have a single track on each preset, and that track you can edit in your config or obviously with the edit menu. So by default, what will happen is if you, while your blade is off, you do a long hold and release, it's going to play the default track that's on your, that's assigned to this preset. But now there's actually an active menu, so you're going to click again to lock that preset in, and this will play once. So if you click, it just plays once. Or, and then to stop it is a hold and release. Or if you want, you can go in, and now this is the active one. If you like this one but you want to do more than once, you're going to hold your power button and rotate left, and it said loop, and now it's going to put that track on loop. And I don't know if this is a long track or not, but essentially it just loops that track. So now you have that option, and I have a feeling this was one of the longer tracks, so I might not let this one loop, but essentially it just keeps looping continuously until you stop it. But let me show you the other features anyway, and then we'll let them play out. Or, and again, you just stop it. Or, so those were the defaults. So just hold the button to go into it. It's going to use the default assigned to the preset. And then you can hold the button and just click the button to play once, hold the button, turn left for loop to loop it, or there's also now a rotate feature, so you can go in, and this one's going to be too long. So now I'm in the menu. If I turn my hilt, I can actually choose any of the other tracks on this blade. Alright, and say I like this one. I can click it, it will play this once. I can hold the button, turn left to loop this track, or I can hold the button and turn right to actually rotate through all tracks and release. And what's going to happen now is this is actually going to play this track and then advance through all of the tracks, almost like a shuffle that it finds on the SD card. So essentially you can also use the rotate. So I think this is a shorter track, that's why I picked this one. So it's going to play this track. And then when this track ends, it's going to go immediately to the next track that it finds on your SD. And what we're doing is we're using the, oh, I think it's about to change, so now that's the next track on the SD that it found. And it will just keep advancing until you stop it, so I can stop that one. But so the idea behind it now is you have, even though there's still going to be a single track assigned to each preset, and that one is the one that will always play by default if you go in, now you're going to have the option to go in and also just grab any track you want and play it. So again, the controls are long hold and release. Start your default track. If you like that one, you would click, and then that will keep that one and it'll play once. If you like this one and you want it to keep going, you would hold the power button but turn left. It will say loop and it'll loop it until you stop it. Or you can actually, from here, I can also hold the power button, turn right, and it will rotate from this track through all the tracks on the SD card. Or if I don't want this track, I can rotate to any of the ones I like. And then again, I can hold the power button, rotate left, that will now loop this track. So you get the access to all your tracks. You can have any of them either play once, loop, or you can choose the rotate, which essentially goes through all of the tracks. So this one's going to just loop because I chose the loop option. And big thanks to Brian Connor, No Sloppy. He gave me, in addition to all the menu sounds, he just provided the loop and the rotate sound that you hear on the menu. So He actually got them to me really quickly for testing, so they work great. But so now you just get access to all of your tracks from within any preset. Again, you're going to have a single track that's assigned to that preset, which is what will play by default. But as soon as you go into that track menu, you can actually choose anything you want anyway. So essentially, it's unlimited tracks per preset. And you can choose to loop any of those tracks, or play them once, or rotate through all of them. So just a lot more functionality for your tracks. And the way it works is you just have to have the track in the tracks folder on your SD. You don't have to name them any certain way. It's just whatever tracks the OS finds on your SD card within that tracks folder, it's going to put them into that list, and it's going to let you rotate through them to pick them, or it's going to use them for the shuffling or the rotation of tracks. So this one's just going to keep playing itself over and over again. So it ended, and now it'll start itself over again. So you can get all your tracks looped. Particularly some of these are shorter tracks. You like to have them loop. And then again, anytime you want, the blade will be off, but you'll just go hold and release, and that'll stop your track. And that will stop the loop. If it's in loop, it'll stop the loop. If it's in rotate, it'll stop the rotate. But those are it. So a lot more testing, obviously cleaning up the code. But in terms of functionality, it's all working pretty well. So I'm happy with it. And we'll see what other people think. But I was able to get this working because I kind of had something similar in the edit menu, because in order to do the edit menu for you to change the tracks, we have to actually be able to see what's on the SD card. So taking that functionality, putting it in with the dial control, it just gives you this new ability. So more new stuff, kind of cool for Proffie. Again, still in development, lots of work left, so no ETA on it, but just another thing adding to the list. So hope you all enjoy, and hope everybody has a great holiday. Thanks.